You know that exact moment your plane touches down in a foreign country, right?
Yeah.
Like the seatbelt sign dings off.
And the cabin just completely erupts into chaos.
Yeah. Everyone immediately reaches for their pockets, grabs their bags. You switch off airplane mode, and there's this like 3-second hold your breath moment.
The ultimate moment of truth.
Right. Are the signal bars going to fill up, or are you just about to be entirely disconnected from the world, staring at some transit map you can't even read?
And for a long time, the only way to actually guarantee those little bars filled up was to just, well, accept a really brutal financial reality,
Ugh, yes.
which usually meant paying legacy carriers, like AT&T or Verizon, those outrageous $10 to $12 daily international roaming charges.
Which is insane. You're just bleeding money every single time you open Google Maps to find a coffee shop. So if you've ever felt that pain, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a massive stack of sources. We've got technical architecture reports, granular pricing data, and real-world field tests spanning the globe.
It's a lot of data.
It is. And our mission is to completely decode the rapidly evolving 2026 landscape of travel eSIMs so you can stop paying those daily roaming fees forever.
Because, the stakes are surprisingly high for a piece of software that is completely invisible inside your phone. Making the wrong choice here doesn't just cost you a few extra bucks.
Right, it's way more than that.
Yeah, according to the field tests we're looking at, picking the wrong provider can mean dropping crucial remote work Zoom calls or accidentally deleting your digital profiles entirely.
Oh man, the horror stories in these reports.
Yeah, getting stuck in a customer service AI doom loop while you're stranded on a rainy street corner in some foreign city. It happens a lot.
So to avoid those exact traps, we are going to really analyze the two titans dominating the 2026 market right now.
Airalo and Saily.
Exactly. We have Airalo, which is the established veteran that basically invented this whole space. And then we have Saily, the massive newcomer backed by the cybersecurity giant Nord Security.
Plus, we'll pull in some field data on strong alternatives for specific trips, like Nomad and Holofly.
Right, but to really understand how these apps are going to behave on your phone, we actually have to start with where they came from.
Because their origins completely dictate their operating philosophies.
Right.
And that, in turn, fundamentally changes the software. Let's look at Airalo first.
Okay.
They launched back in 2019, which basically makes them an ancient veteran in the travel eSIM space.
Practically prehistoric in tech years.
Right, and their entire foundation was built on a marketplace model. Their initial goal was to solve the roaming trap by partnering with as many local mobile network operators around the world as physically possible.
So they basically went out and negotiated with hundreds of individual telecom companies to build this massive catalog. They're like the Amazon of eSIMs.
That's a perfect way to put it. But that brings all the technical chaos that comes with a massive decentralized marketplace. Now, today, that strategy gives them coverage in over 200 countries and regions.
Which is huge.
It is. But contrast that with Saily. Saily just launched in 2024, and they weren't built by a telecom company at all.
Right. They were built by Nord Security, the NordVPN people.
Exactly. So Saily was engineered from the ground up as a digital safety tool that just happens to provide internet access.
Wait, hold on, though. If I just need Google Maps to find a ramen shop in Tokyo, why do I care about their underlying corporate philosophy? I mean, telecom marketplace, cybersecurity tool doesn't change the fact that I just need data. Just give me the internet.
I get that, but that philosophy is the exact reason you might be standing on that Tokyo street corner with full 5G bars and absolutely zero data actually loading.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah. Those foundational philosophies, the marketplace versus the security tool, they dictate the entire technical architecture of the application. And that leads directly into how you actually install these profiles on your phone, which, looking at our sources, is highlighted as the single biggest point of user frustration.
The installation friction. Yeah, reading through the Reddit sentiment analysis and user forums we pulled, this is where people really just lose their minds.
Because Airalo is a marketplace aggregating hundreds of different local carriers, they have to rely on a legacy installation approach.
Right.
Historically, every time you travel to a new country and buy a new local plan on Airalo, you have to install a brand new country-specific digital profile right onto your device's motherboard.
Which means if I do, say, a multi-week trip to France, then Italy, and then Spain, and I buy local country-specific plans for each because it's cheaper, I'm just cluttering up my phone's cellular settings with all these different profiles.
And that introduces a massive margin for user error. The field reports show users constantly getting confused about which profile is the active one.
Oh, I've seen this. They try to clean up their settings and they accidentally delete a profile.
And with Airalo's architecture, once a profile is deleted from your phone, it often cannot be reinstalled.
Wow.
Yeah, the code is single use. You literally just lose whatever money you paid for that data.
Pretty brutal.
Plus, because they use so many different regional partners, Airalo users often have to manually configure their APN in their phone's deep settings.
Yes, I see this constantly in the troubleshooting forums. The APN, the access point name. People land at the airport, their phone shows full signal bars, they look completely connected, but absolutely nothing loads.
Nothing goes through.
Yeah, their messages won't send nothing.
So the APN is basically the digital gateway. It's the address book that tells your phone how to actually talk to the specific internet network you are trying to use.
Okay.
If the Airalo marketplace assigns you, say, a random partner network in Germany, but your phone doesn't automatically pull the correct APN address for that specific German tower, you look connected to the cell tower, but you are effectively locked out of the internet.
Until you go deep into your cellular settings and manually type in some specific text code.
Exactly. Which is terrifying for non-technical users. Now, Saily approached this exact problem from a software engineering perspective. They created a unified profile architecture.
So I'm not downloading a new profile every single time I cross a border.
Nope. You install the Saily profile one single time. Think of it like a blank master keycard at a high-end hotel.
Okay, I like that analogy.
You don't get a new physical card every time you change rooms. The front desk just wirelessly reprograms the card in your pocket.
That makes total sense.
So any future trips, any top-ups of data, regardless of what country you are in, are pushed dynamically to that existing profile directly through the app.
Wow.
There is no deleting, no reinstalling, and the software handles the APN configuration automatically in the background.
See, that is a massive usability win right there. You just click a button in the app and the network access magically appears on the profile you already have installed. But okay, what about the actual performance of the internet once I am connected? Like, is one of them tangibly faster, or is it all just an illusion because they're both connecting to the exact same local cell towers anyway?
It's a great question. Our technical reports show that while both providers generally negotiate access to the same Tier 1 networks, so think T-Mobile in the US or SoftBank in Japan, the speed you actually experience isn't just about your proximity to a physical cell tower.
Okay.
It is highly dependent on network latency, what engineers call ping.
Right. Ping, being the round-trip time it takes for a packet of data to travel from your phone to a server and back to your screen.
Exactly. Because travel eSIMs operate on international roaming agreements. They don't just connect you directly to the local internet. They have to route your data back to the central authentication servers first.
Ah, I see.
With Airalo, because they rely on this massive decentralized web of hundreds of different regional partners, their routing can be really unpredictable.
Like how so?
Well, if you were sitting in a cafe in Japan, your data might be routed through a partner server in Singapore, or even all the way back to Europe before it finally hits the open web and loads your web page.
Oh, wow. So that explains the dreaded high ping. Like, your download speeds might technically look fast on a basic speed test, but every single time you click a link, there is a full 1-second delay before the page even starts loading.
Yeah. Or worse, you are on a remote work Zoom call, and you get that agonizing half-second delay where everyone just constantly talks over each other because the audio is out of sync.
That is the absolute worst. So how does Saily handle that?
Saily completely bypasses that decentralized mess by leveraging Nord Security's globally optimized server infrastructure. They just route traffic through their own private optimized backbone.
That's a huge advantage.
It is. The field tests in our sources show Saily consistently delivering much lower, highly stable latency across the board.
Because they have a cleaner, more direct highway to the internet that they actually own and operate.
Exactly.
And, you know, that connection to Nord's infrastructure actually brings us to the security features, which is where the data gets genuinely surprising to me. Saily natively includes a DNS-based ad blocker and malicious website protection directly inside the data plan.
Yeah, they are filtering domain-level requests.
Right.
So if a website you visit tries to load a known tracker or a heavy auto-playing video advertisement, Saily's network identifies that malicious or heavy domain and blocks it before it ever even reaches your phone's antenna.
See, and blocking ads isn't just about avoiding a terrible reading experience on some recipe blog. This is a literal economic hack.
How so?
Well, when you're traveling on a prepaid data plan, you are paying for every single megabyte. By stopping heavy video ads and background trackers from loading in the first place, you are preventing your phone from downloading absolute garbage data.
That's a really good point.
The calculations in our report suggest Saily users save roughly 10% to 15% of their data plan capacity simply because they aren't downloading invisible ads.
It's a brilliant secondary benefit.
Yeah.
You are literally extending the life of your data package through cybersecurity.
Yeah.
And Saily also utilizes that server infrastructure to offer a virtual location tool that allows you to mask your IP address to bypass geoblocks.
So you can access your home country's streaming services or securely log into your local banking apps while you're halfway across the world.
Exactly.
But wait, running a VPN constantly usually just murders my phone battery. Like, whenever I use a traditional VPN app on my phone to check my bank account, I can visibly watch the battery percentage drop. I'm frantically looking for a wall charger by 2 in the afternoon.
Traditional VPN apps drain your battery because the encryption is happening at the device level. Your phone's internal processor is forced to do all the heavy mathematical lifting to encrypt the data before sending it out.
Right.
But Saily's unified architecture does all of this routing and encryption at the network level on their servers.
Oh, so my phone has absolutely no idea it's even using a VPN. It's just sending raw data to the local cell tower, and Nord's servers are doing all the heavy computational work.
Exactly. The server handles the encryption and the location masking. You get all the benefits of bypassing geoblocks and securing your banking traffic without that severe battery drain associated with device-level VPN applications.
That is an incredibly elegant engineering solution. But, okay, to be completely fair to Airalo here, looking through our stack of sources, there is one massive technical advantage Airalo has that Saily completely lacks.
Yeah, this is important.
Saily is missing a crucial feature for a very specific type of traveler.
Because Saily is strictly a data-only service. Airalo, however, offers a premium global tier called Discover Plus Global.
Right.
And this plan is entirely unique because it provisions a real, functional Austrian phone number, a +43 country code, and that supports traditional voice calls and standard SMS text messaging.
And let me tell you, there is nothing quite like the cold sweat of standing outside a foreign airport at midnight trying to order an Uber, and the app suddenly prompts you for a security check saying, "We've texted a verification code to your home number."
The dreaded two-factor authentication,
Yeah.
2FA.
Yes. We all use WhatsApp or iMessage for chatting, sure, but banks and ride-sharing apps still rely on ancient SMS technology.
And if you only have a data plan and your home carrier SIM is turned off so you don't get hit with a daily roaming fee, you cannot receive that SMS.
You are completely locked out of your own accounts.
Right. So Airalo's ability to receive standard SMS texts globally is an absolute lifeline. For travelers who must log into secure services that haven't moved to email or authenticator apps, that Austrian phone number is the deciding factor.
Yeah, that SMS lifeline is incredible. But it brings up the inevitable question of what we are actually paying for all this technology. Because how these companies structure their pricing is wildly different depending on how long you plan to travel.
It really is. Looking at the 2026 pricing data, Airalo's is incredibly competitive for microplans.
Microplans, okay.
Yeah, if you have a weekend layover in London and you just need, say, 1 single gigabyte of data to pull up your boarding pass and check a few emails, Airalo often has plans starting around $4.50. The barrier to entry is almost non-existent.
Right, but if you were staying for 2 weeks where you need to actually work from your laptop and send files, 1 gigabyte is going to vanish in a few hours.
And that is exactly where Saily consistently undercuts Airalo's pricing model. For larger data buckets, 10 gigabytes or 20 gigabytes, Saily is almost always the cheaper option.
Do we have an example from the data?
Yeah, taking Thailand as an example from our data set. A 10 gigabyte plan on Airalo will run you about $19. That exact same 10 gigabyte capacity on Saily is only $10.99.
Wow, nearly half the price for the larger data bucket.
Yeah.
But we also have to factor in how these companies try to build customer loyalty, right? Because both are obviously trying to lock you into their ecosystem. Airalo relies on a program called Air Money, which is essentially this gamified cashback system. As you buy more plans, you level up. If you travel enough to hit their platinum tier, you get 10% cashback on every single purchase.
And mathematically, if you are a digital nomad or a constant business traveler buying dozens of small country-specific plans across different continents every year, accumulating and spending that, Air Money can absolutely make Airalo cheaper in the absolute long run.
But Saily is taking a completely different approach to loyalty by pushing the subscription model.
Right.
They offer a service called Saily Ultra. For $59.99 a month, you get 30 gigabytes of data that works seamlessly across 113 countries, and it automatically renews every month.
So it acts entirely like a borderless domestic phone plan.
Exactly. You just pay your monthly bill and never have to think about roaming or buying a new plan or checking if your destination is covered ever again.
It shifts the entire paradigm of how we think about travel telecom.
Right.
But, there's a hidden economic factor we have to discuss, which really only shows up when the technology catastrophically fails.
Oh, yeah.
What actually happens when you are stranded and need customer support?
Right. Our sources, especially the sentiment analysis from various travel forums, paint a pretty bleak picture here. Airalo has seemingly shifted a massive amount of their customer support infrastructure over to AI chatbots.
Yeah.
And travelers are reporting getting stuck in literal AI doom loops.
That's bad. The reports show furious users uploading screenshots proving their APN is configured perfectly, their settings are correct, but the AI just keeps sending them the same automated, copy-pasted troubleshooting steps over and over again, completely refusing to escalate the ticket.
And to make matters worse, Airalo enforces a very strict no refunds after installation policy. Even if the service never successfully connects to a local tower, the moment you download that digital profile to your phone, they generally refuse to return your money.
They might throw you some Air Money credits to appease you.
Yeah, but digital credits don't help when you are stranded without a map.
Exactly. Saily recognized this massive pain point and leveraged Nord's existing massive global customer service infrastructure.
Because Nord already had that set up.
Right. So they offer 247 human live chat directly within the app. Our field tests show technical issues being escalated and resolved by real engineers in minutes.
That's reassuring.
Furthermore, their refund policy is drastically more generous. They offer full refunds for unactivated plans and will issue partial refunds for activated plans if you can demonstrate a technical failure or, if you've consumed less than 1% of the data.
Wow.
They are winning significant market share simply by treating the customer with empathy when the network goes down.
So we have the technical architecture, we have the security features, and we have the economics. Let's synthesize all of this data from our deep dive into some concrete recommendations.
Let's do it.
If you are packing your bags right now, how do you tailor the tech to your exact itinerary?
Well, based on the comprehensive 2026 field test data, Saily is the undisputed gold standard for European multi-country travel. Their Europe Pass covers over 35 countries seamlessly, making border hopping on trains entirely effortless without ever losing connection. Saily is also the premium choice for Japan. Their back-end connection to the SoftBank 5G network is incredibly stable, even in dense, high-interference urban environments like Tokyo.
Europe and Japan are huge markets, obviously. But if you are heading to Southeast Asia, say, planning a major circuit through Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, and Thailand, we have to introduce a third player from our reports, Nomad.
Yeah, Nomad dominates the Southeast Asian market. They offer an ATAC regional plan that groups 14 to 21 countries onto a single eSIM. Nomad manages to secure incredibly cheap rates by buying data in massive bulk across that specific region.
It completely removes the headache of managing individual country plans. And a pro tip straight from our sources, if you use the promo code eSIMDUU15 at checkout, Nomad's regional pricing drops so low it becomes some of the cheapest per gigabyte data available anywhere in Asia.
It is perfectly optimized for that specific geographical loop.
And finally, we must mention Holofly for a very specific type of traveler.
Right. If you plan to stream 4K Netflix in your hotel room every night, or you need to run 4-hour video presentations from a beach, Holofly is the premium choice for true, uncapped, unlimited data on your mobile device.
Though I do have to add a massive warning from the fine print in our sources here. Yes, Holofly gives you unlimited data on your phone's screen, but they aggressively throttle your internet speed down to a crawl if you try to use your phone as a hotspot to share that connection with your laptop.
Yeah, that's a huge catch.
If you are a remote worker relying on tethering to send large files, that throttling will ruin your day. Saily, by contrast, gives you full-speed hotspot usage, allowing you to use your data however you see fit.
It always comes down to knowing exactly how you intend to consume the data.
Absolutely. So let's wrap this up and give you the core takeaways to save you from those terrible roaming fees. If you need massive global breadth, if you are visiting very obscure destinations, or if you absolutely must have an SMS-capable phone number to survive two-factor authentication, you want Airalo. If you want high-end security features, unified profiles, human customer support, and large data bundles at a lower price point, you want Saily. And if you are doing a multi-country tour of Southeast Asia, you want to grab Nomad.
Those are the immediate practical applications of the data. But, I want to leave you with a forward-looking concept to mull over based on the trajectory of all this technology.
Okay, lay it on me.
We noted that 5G standalone networks are rapidly becoming the global standard by 2026. As the physical infrastructure of global telecom equalizes, the actual speed and latency differences between Airalo, Saily, Nomad, and local carriers will eventually vanish entirely. Data speed is rapidly becoming a cheap, identical commodity everywhere on Earth.
Oh, wow. So if the underlying speed is exactly the same no matter which company you buy it from, the data itself stops being the product.
Precisely. Consider this. In the very near future, will you eventually stop shopping for travel phone plans altogether? Will you instead just shop for a comprehensive digital cybersecurity subscription like Nord that simply throws in global internet access for free as a minor perk?
That is fascinating.
We are witnessing the death of the traditional telecom carrier and the birth of the secure, borderless digital passport.
It is wild to think about. We are moving from buying minutes and megabytes to just buying an encrypted digital shield that magically keeps us connected.
Exactly.
Well, the next time your plane touches down and you have that tense moment waiting for the signal bars to fill up, you'll know exactly what is happening under the hood, and you'll know exactly who has your back. Thanks for joining us on this custom-curated deep dive into the sources. Stay curious and travel smart.